Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with the CTV News Update. As we told you yesterday, a number of advocacy groups are warning residents about legislation before the county council that could change zoning laws in Prince George's County. Councilmember Danielle Galero says there are a number of bills that could dramatically change the recent enacted countywide zoning map, which was 8 years in the making. Galero says some of the bills threaten to cut the public out of the process and turn back the clock on the zoning process.
Yeah, and I think that's the growing fear of all of us, including myself. I was chair of the county council when we lifted the zoning ordinance back in 2018. We just finally put the last steps into effect, which is why it just went into effect in April of this year. So that is definitely my concern, and it's definitely not going through the really thorough vetting process that the ordinance went through in the past. In essence, many of these bills just went to presentation a week ago and are moving very rapidly out of committee. This could really dramatically change property in several locations throughout the county and frankly really not move us into the high quality standards that we wanted to see in Prince George's County and move forward with really pushing forward our general plan, which is very focused on smart growth.
Council is expected to take comments on two of the bills, CB 91 and CB 92, on Thursday. Residents of Laurel Apartment Complex have ended their rent strike. Some 80 tenants at Westgate at Laurel in the 8100 block of Gorman Avenue in Laurel began the strike back in July. Residents accused the landlord of raising rents during the pandemic and were critical of what they called its slow response to maintenance issues. Now tenants say the relationship with the landlord is improving. The advocacy organization CASA, which spearheaded the rent strike, says things are improving. Residents were recently given a small discount on rent.
And when good, have the maintenance different approach as a service in general. It been resolved and it been better. That's me. From that, I'm really happy about it with my tenants. They really have a lot of things done.
Rodriguez says even though the rent strike is over, tenants are continuing to push for the elimination of new residential charges like parking and water. A looming freight strike has Amtrak officials canceling 3 long-distance western routes. The strike that could start as early as Friday could have devastating effects on the economy by limiting goods, which would then result in higher prices for consumers. Now, Amtrak routes to Albany, New York, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Springfield, Massachusetts would not be impacted. Acella's East Coast Express routes would also not be affected. The freight workers are demanding better pay, better working conditions, and to renegotiate the company's strict attendance policy. The Prince George's Health Department is now accepting pre-registration forms to get the monkeypox vaccine. Interested residents need to use the county's immunization registration system. Your information is confidential and only used to determine if you're eligible to receive the vaccine. Now, once you sign up, you will be notified when appointments become available. To register, go to the website right there on your screen. Now, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed 1,025 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's County is down 9.92%. 17 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours, and 499 people are hospitalized. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, Purple Line work resumes in the county. Details after the break.
Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. You can always find people who are helping. Thank you to all the first responders who put their lives in danger to help us when my brothers and sisters and mom and dad and grandpa and grandma need them. We look out for the helpers because they look out for us.
Thank you, first responders.
You know, there's a rewarding feeling you get when you do like, hey man, I just, we carried a lady out of a fire,
This is what I signed up for as a first responder, and this is what I love to do. And I'm going to continue going to work day in and day out and providing help to those that need it.
Thank you, first responders.
Thank you, first responders. We need you. We wanted to let you know how much we appreciate you.
Be safe, look after yourself, and look after one another. Thanks.
Good evening and welcome back. U.S. News and World Report is out with its 2022-2023 Best Colleges Report, and a number of Maryland universities have moved up the list. Out of 250 colleges nationwide, Baltimore's Johns Hopkins moved to number 7. The University of Maryland at College Park is now number 55. HBCU Morgan State is at 317, and Bowie State is ranked at 133 out of 175 regional universities in the North. Now you can find the full listing at usnews.com. Search 2022-23 Best Colleges in Maryland. If you have plans to drive through the University of Maryland, pack your patience. That's because construction of the Purple Line is back on. UMD students, staff, and commuters can expect to see more workers along Campus Drive and College Park working on the light rail system. CTV News was in the area this morning where barriers lined the streets as students headed back to class. The Purple Line will bring 11 new stations to Prince George's and 10 to Montgomery County. Federal security concerns halt seaplanes from coming into College Park. That's according to the Washington Post. Tailwinds Air was set to begin flight of its seaplanes from Manhattan to College Park Airport today. However, the airline has temporarily put those plans on pause for at least the next 2 weeks. The Transportation Security Administration and the Federal Aviation Administration are working with the airline to address concerns over its flight plans around the National Capital Region. A Dorchester County poultry facility will pay nearly $1 million to settle lawsuits from environmental groups and the state. The owner of Valley Proteins has agreed to pay about $540,000 to the state, and another $160,000 will go towards water restoration and water quality monitoring efforts. The company has a history of pollution violations, including waste from its facility entering local waterways. A new report shows the economic toll that sea level rise could have on coastal areas across the country. Climate Central, a research nonprofit, says hundreds of thousands of homes, offices, and other privately owned properties could be swallowed up by rising seas within decades. The Gulf and Atlantic coast stand to lose the most, including Maryland, which researchers project could see more than 2,500 buildings impacted. The report says it's not just about flooding properties, it's about eroding tax bases.
As a homeowner or business owner who might be in the risk zone, we're facing the possibility of losing that property. When that's lost, it's no longer available as part of the tax base. So that comes with two consequences. One that's easy to see is that we lose tax revenue. While this is happening, it's at the same time our local government is under stress for flood cleanup, stormwater system upgrades, road improvements. It forms a double whammy, if you will. So we're losing our revenue and our expenses are going up.
Louisiana, Florida, Texas, and North Carolina are the states most at risk. Researchers say Louisiana is losing about 100 yards or 1 football field of land every 90 minutes. You can learn more about the issue at coastal.climatecentral.org. A local dentistry clinic is hosting its 16th annual Community Health Day Fair. The event is hosted by the nonprofit wing of Special Care Dentistry in Landover. The health fair will offer much more than dental services. Organizers say typically upwards of 100 people take advantage of the free event.
So this weekend is one of our biggest events, our fundraiser. We will be having free dental services from 8 to 1 p.m., free cleanings, free extractions. We will also have other providers here to give chiropractic services, podiatry, massages, a host of other medical services.
Again, it's set for this Saturday from 8 until 1 p.m. Special Care is located at 8700 Central Avenue, Suite 100 in Landover. Now to pre-register, go to the website at the bottom of your screen. Stay right there. We've got your sports report after the break.
Coming soon in sports, a rookie on the Commanders team made some huge impact in their season opener. I'm Laurencia Moten, and I'll have that story and more coming soon.
For the 1 in 365 African Americans battling sickle cell disease, a cure exists. Yet many Black patients do not have a compatible donor available on the Be the Match registry. You could be the cure. Learn more at endsicklecell.org.
Welcome back. It seems like the Washington Commanders just can't escape controversy. This time, some NFL fans are suing the home team following an incident that happened last season. 4 spectators say they were injured when a stadium railing collapsed and they fell at a Commanders and Philadelphia Eagles game at FedEx Field. Take a look at this video from Twitter as Eagle fans cheered on quarterback Jalen Hurts as he walked through a tunnel. A railing gives out. The lawsuit says the plaintiffs are each seeking damages of up to $75,000.
Hey there, sports fans. Well, Maryland native Frances Tiafoe has impressed everyone around the world, even former First Lady Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama was courtside at Arthur Ashe Stadium cheering on Tiafoe in his last match against Carlos Alcaraz. After the tough match, the former First Lady met Tiafoe and gave him tons of love and encouragement. Despite his loss, Tiafoe still has things to be proud of. One of them being his ATP ranking. He is now in the top 20 for the first time in his career, standing at number 19. Congratulations, Frances. Now, I reported yesterday that the Commanders defeated the Jags in their season opener. Carson Wentz's contributions were great, but we can't overlook the players that helped him complete those touchdowns. Rookie Jahan Dotson made 3 catches for 40 yards and had 2 touchdowns. After the game, this is what he had to say.
It was definitely pretty cool getting that first one under my belt in the first game, my debut. Carson just giving me a chance. You know, we've been talking about it ever since I got here, ever since he got here. Just giving me a chance. You know, I can make plays for this team, and that's what I was able to do.
That's what we saw. That's the young man that we really felt good about. That's why we did what we did, and being able to bring him here is, we're very fortunate to have a young man with that kind of a skill set.
The Commanders head to Detroit this Sunday to play the Lions at 1 p.m. Now, big news, baseball fans, because the Washington Nationals and Baltimore Orioles battle each other today and tomorrow. The Birds are fighting for a wild card spot in the playoffs, and this footage you're seeing is from a year ago when the Orioles swept Washington. How cool would it be if the Nationals could return the favor 1 year later? We have to see what happens. Tonight, the Nats host the O's at 7:05 p.m. And that's today's sports update. Back to you, Taylor.
Let's get a quick check now on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 58 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, Friday as well, will be sunny, clear skies. Temperatures reaching a high near 80 degrees. And now for the community calendar, the Prince George's County Council is seeking appointments for several county committees. Those include the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission's Spending Affordability Committee, the Board of Appeals, Parks and Rec's Blue Ribbon Work Group, along with a few other committees. Those interested must send a copy of your resume and cover letter to the email address on your screen. All the information must be submitted by tomorrow, September 14th by 3 p.m. For more information, visit pgcouncil.us. Now, before we close out tonight, we wanted to bring some lighthearted news for pet lovers. Doggy swims are taking place across the region. That's basically when dogs are allowed to swim in neighborhood pools just after the official close down to the public after Labor Day. No worries, by the way, the pools are drained after the dogs take a dip. Here are some videos of the Tanglewood swim in Silver Spring where dogs are having a fun time playing catch. By the way, if you're looking for a list of different pools and beaches in Maryland where you can take your pups for a swim, log on to dogsofcharmcity.net. And that's a wrap of tonight's CTV News Update. Join us again tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Good night.